Hello everyone, my name is Perry McCants, and this is going to be a documentary, a biography, and what we're going to be doing is talking a bit about who Perry McCants is. And it's an honor to be able to talk about this great man. You know, he is my father. All right, and I'm going to have my father introduce himself. And what's your name?
My name is Perry McCants Senior. I've come along with my son, and we have been discussing some things that I think that the world should know and should hear.
Excellent, excellent. So now what's happening is, at this point, our lives are going to be documented, okay? Because one of the things that prompted me to do this is, as a man, I'm still learning and growing. So I understand there's more than likely a lot of men that can relate to me out there that want to understand, you know, someone in my father's position. So let's start this way. What year were you born?
1946.
Okay, so 1946. So if you don't mind, you know, for those that are out there and viewing this, what was life like in your early childhood?
My early childhood, my life was, even as a child, was very rough, and it was had me in a position where I didn't know what a child was or what a human being was, because I was put in a position to work like an adult.
Okay.
I was in the South Carolina cotton fields.
Wow. Okay.
4 and 5 years old, picking cotton, along with the other part of the family, who at that time had an idea that men didn't need to go to school.
Wow.
Men didn't really need education.
Okay.
Men needed to work, and that's what happened. And so I was not introduced to any schools and preschools as you have today, these kind of things. And was no law. We was way back up in the woods. There was no law to come by and state and say why this person is not in school, why these people are not in school. And so my uncle was a sharecropper, which means that he would go around the different countries, and he would, not country, but different plantations, I would call them. And I call them plantations because that's exactly what it was.
Okay, absolutely.
And he would go down there and he would agree with the boss of the plantation that his workers would come and they would pay them. And I would work with picking the cotton, which is a very hard job. On a field, picture about 3 football fields, end to end and whiff to whiff. And you don't know when you can crawl up on a snake or anything of that nature. The only thing they was concerned about was you picking that cotton.
Wow.
And putting it in the bag.
Now,
and I had an uncle that really didn't care. You couldn't tell him you were tired.
wow.
You couldn't tell him you need to take a break. Only thing you could tell him was to put that cotton in that bag.
Wow.
And you did it all day. You break for lunch and up to about 5:30. Then you would have to sit back and watch them weigh the cotton. And then when they weigh the cotton, that would determine how much money you was getting, which wasn't very much.
Okay.
And by me being a child, the most thing I brought in was maybe $2 or $3.
Wow.
Some of the adults, sometimes they would bring in $8. That's for all day.
All day labor.
So when I see things, for me coming up and compare with today, when I first came up to North Carolina, that's where my grandfather and grandmother lived at. My mother left me in the South.
Okay.
With her people, or with my aunt and her people.
Okay.
And they were the kind of people they were unlearned. The men was, the women was, they could go to school.
Okay. So from that aspect in your life, you would say that at that point you had no idea that you were left, that your mother left you down there with your aunt. You thought your aunt was your mother. Is that right?
That is the truth.
Okay.
Because I had no in other words, my mother told me later that she would write and she would send money and she would do all those kinds of things. But they never connected with me.
Okay.
Because they would never sit down and say, this came from your mother. So
wow.
I'm just thinking that, maybe that's my mother, maybe they just mean like that,
Yeah.
But it was one of those kind of things, So later she told me, she told my uncle and my aunt and the rest of them that she didn't want me to work in no fields and she wanted me to get an education. And when she left, that didn't mean nothing.
Wow. So this all had to do with the fact that, as I understand it, that there was some situations that took place in which back then they would have like a family member that would take you in until they were ready to take. In this case, your mother was ready to take care of you or bring you to where you need to be. Is that right?
To be frank, my mother didn't come. Actually, she didn't come to get me to be with her.
Okay.
Until one day, I guess I was about 6. And she came to visit.
Okay.
And I saw her, and I saw my sister, and I thought my sister was my mother.
Oh wow.
And I was so glad to see somebody, and I didn't know how to feel.
Gotcha.
To tell you the truth, I didn't know how to feel. So when I saw them come in, she said, "I'm your mother." And she was dressed up in these clothes, looked like she came out of Hollywood, and those kind of things. So when she would sit down and talk to me, she couldn't talk to me about nothing because I didn't know nothing.
Okay.
And she asked me what color crayon is this. I could tell her, what is crayon.
Right. So you didn't know. You
I
didn't
was never introduced pencils and all those kind of things. I didn't have it. But I used to take a stick and I would draw figures in the dirt.
Wow.
Off and on. And sometimes they would see them and they would like them, and sometimes they wouldn't. They just kick sand over them.
Wow.
Those kind of things. So, excuse me. Go ahead.
No, you're okay. So also, when it comes to the amount of, let's say, cousins, or as you thought they would be siblings, right? About how many siblings or your cousins, as you learned to understand, that's what it was. How many were in a household that you know?
We were in a house that was maybe supposed up here. You would look at it, you maybe fit by maybe three children and maybe 2 adults.
Okay.
We had 20 something.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
We were sleeping on the floor, on what they call pallets, and those kind of things.
Okay.
The same room and all those kind of things. And it was rough. And when she found out that I couldn't even, write my own name, and I think that broke her heart.
Are you talking about your sister? Is that right?
Talking about my wife.
Oh,
my wife.
That's okay.
Talking about my mother.
Oh, okay. So you must have learned this.
So yes, that broke her heart. So then she she told them that she was taking me away.
Okay.
They felt real bad about it, so they didn't want me to go nowhere, and so they didn't want to. I guess they didn't want her to find out how I was being treated.
Okay.
So then we moved from the place where we was at, because they were trying to escape, and my mom got with the Red Cross, and the Red Cross started going around the countryside site and started looking for me.
Okay.
And when they found me, they told her. So my uncle came down, along with my sister, to get me, and that's how I got out of the situation.
Okay. So now, what I want to do is I want to do these in segments, right?
Okay.
Okay. So the segments are going to deal with the transitions of different aspects of Perry McCants Senior's life. All right. So these things are important in terms of digesting, if you will, and the process. So the next episode we're going to be dealing with when Perry McCants Senior ended up leaving from North Carolina and then coming to Philadelphia. So for this being the first episode, I want to say I appreciate my father allowing this to be a beginning of something great, because I think it's important for myself and my family. I have 2 sons, okay, and a daughter, in which they will be able to understand the legacy that Perry McCants Senior has started. Okay, so what this is about is the simple fact that Perry McCants Senior, who was my father, decided to commend love towards me, being his son. Okay, so it put an interest in me to go ahead on, and that the world need to find out what is it that made Perry McCants Senior who he is today, and why did he stay in my life, things like that. So we are going to end on this note, and hopefully if there's comments and things like that need to be made, let me know. And these are things that I would definitely like to experience, because I know there's people out there that are looking for great men, and I happen to, and there's no boasting in that, but I'm honored to have my father in my life, and so is there anything you'd like to say at the end of this episode here?
I would just like to say that I'm glad that God had allowed me to see my son and see my daughter grow up to be mature men and women. In spite of all the things that are happening, they're still holding on, and it shows me the strength that I needed to come through where I came through and do what was happening to me, man. I was able to come through it, and it showed me that strength was much needed during that time.
And until next time, take care.